Hey everybody, it's Actual Dragon Tears here. So, now that Velvet Shell, the next DLC containing the Spanish CTU, is going to be coming out, I am going to do my annual video of trying to take a gander at what they are going to be, what weapons they're going to use, what their gadgets will be, and since we've already seen the map, I decided let's take a look at what the skins might be, since skins have been playing a pretty big role in the game right now, well, in terms of customization. So let's get right into it. The CTU that I am almost certain the next operators will be the Grupo Especial de Apresinos, or the GEO. The GEO is the Spanish Specialized Police Force or Counterterrorism Unit that specializes in counterterrorism, urban counterterrorism, hostage, crisis, organized crime, assaults, and so on. So they fit the game very nicely, especially with the types of game modes that are in the game. So going over the weapons, let's start with the attacker. The attacker, I believe, will have the G41GS. Or just the G41. The G41 is a 5.56 caliber weapon. It fires at 850 rounds per minute and has a 30-round magazine. Though it looks very similar to the AR-33, they are different weapons. I noticed that the main lower receiver of the gun looked kind of significantly different than the AR-33. So maybe it could have less damage than the AR-33 because it is a higher rate of fire weapon. Maybe more recoil. It'd be interesting to see. The next weapon that I think is actually going to go back to the DMR, which we haven't seen for 2 DLCs now. And I think it will be the G3, actually, because we don't have a G3 rifle. We have G3 variants, the AR-33, the G8A1, I think. That's the LMG that IQ has. So I think this would be interesting as a DMR, because it fires the 7.62 by 51 round. It will be a semi-auto, and it will have a 20-round magazine. And I feel that having the G41 and the G3 would be a nice combo to have, especially since they are both weapons that the GEO use in real life. As for the defenders, I think the 2 weapons will be the PA8 shotgun. This one looks very similar to the SPAS 12, but it actually is a different shotgun, mainly the grip area. It's 12 gauge, 7 rounds in the tube plus 1 in the chamber, and it's a pump action shotgun. So I feel like this would be interesting because, once again, this is a shotgun that is used by the GEO, and I feel like having kind of a pump-action SPAS would be interesting, because the SPAS right now in the game is semi-auto, which it is in real life. It's semi-auto / pump-action. So I think having that for Valkyrie, but also having this PA8 pump-action one that could possibly do more damage and have a little bit better range than the SPAS would be an interesting mirror of it, if that makes any sense. Now, for the SMG, I had a bit of a difficult time finding it, because when I was researching them, a lot of them were just saying their primary, or their favorite SMG of choice was the MP5 and the P90. Well, those are already both in the game, and the MP5 is added already in all its variants pretty much. The MP5, the MP5K, and the MP5 SD. So we can't really branch out to the MP5s much anymore, and the P90 doesn't really have any other variants of it. So I started looking at images of them to see if they had any unlisted SMGs, and that's when I noticed the picture that I'm showing right now. In the picture, you have the one in the front holding the MP5 SD, but in the back we have what looks like a UMP. At first I thought this was a UMP-45, and I'm like, oh, that's already in the game, but then I took a closer look at the magazine, and you can actually notice that the magazine is curved. Well, the UMP-45 has a straight box magazine, but the UMP-9 has a curved magazine. So I thought, what if they have the UMP-9? The UMP-9 is, of course, a 9mm SMG that fires at 650 rounds per minute and has a 30-round magazine. This would be pretty interesting because it will have maybe it will have the punching power, not as much punching power as the 45, but a little bit more than the other 9mm in the game, simply because it has that kind of slightly slower rate of fire. Maybe similar to Caveira's, which is meant to deal damage and down someone. So those were the two weapons that I thought would be for the Defender. And for the pistol, I think it will be the USP Compact. We do have the USP-9 in the game right now, but I think the USP Compact in its 45 variant would be interesting because we don't really have many 45s in the game. We have the M45, and that's about it, really. I can't think of any other 45 weapons. We have a lot of 9mm. So I think this would be interesting. It holds 8 to 10 rounds in the magazine. I couldn't find a specific number. I think one is with like the thumb extension on the magazine, and the other isn't. So whether they go with 8 or 10 rounds, we'll have to see. So I think that would be an interesting pistol because all these weapons are used by the GEO. Now, getting into the gadgets, this is where I had a bit of a fun time, but also a hard time trying to figure them out. And a lot of people, I'm not sure if it was leaked or it's actually official, about like the slogan, prepare to see or prepare to like sight, or the people were basically saying this new one is going to have something to do with sight. And so I tried factoring that in with my gadget ideas, and that's where I came up with a motion sensor for the attackers. Now, I hear me out. I know we have drones, and I know the drones kind of do the same job, but what if the motion sensor was kind of like the motion balls in in Battlefield 4 or Battlefield Bad Company or Black Ops 3 or Black Ops 4 or 2, where it's like a grenade. You'll throw it, and it on the compass it would like do a little ping as to where the general location is. This will be a quick way to see if someone's in a room without having to go through the lengthy process of going into your drone. I think this would be good, especially for people who like to rush. Because when you're in rushing, going into your drone is kind of risky because you're the only one in the building most of the time, or you're the only one really close to the objective. And if you take that time to throw the drone, drive it in, scout the area, you're leaving yourself very vulnerable. So I think this is just a quicker way, but a less precise way of figuring out where enemies are. So you can throw it in a room, wait for the ping, see if there is one, and then rush in to see if anyone's there, or rush in to maybe kill the person who's been pinged, or rush in because there's no one in there. And then the next one, I'm not too sure about this one. I don't know how it would work exactly, but I think it would be a really interesting gadget to be in the game. If you look at the GEO, admittedly a Wikipedia page, right, in their weapons section, they do mention that the GEO members also employ electroshock weapons, which caused much controversy in the Amnesty International denouncing the use of such weapons by the Policia Nacional. I think this is interesting because tasers are just kind of one of those. They stated that it's kind of a controversial thing. So that makes it kind of incentivizes it to why it would be the Gadget. Because think about it, the taser, you have this taser that maybe has 2 or 3 charges in it that you can reload into it, and it maybe one-shots down someone up to like maybe 10 meters or something, 5-10 meters. It's one of those risk-reward type of gadgets, and I got to thinking, like, well, that's not really that good because there's one-shot headshots, of course. So I thought, what if it did damage to shield users? Nothing like that can one-shot them or something, but maybe if you like shot it at the shield, it would kind of electrify the shield for like 2 or 3 seconds before the charge wears out, and it would deal 20 or 30 damage to them. If you really want to, you can use all 3 of your taser charges to down a shield user, or you can try and shoot them, give the damage, and then pair it up with someone who has like a nitro cell or an impact grenade just to combo these shields. Because right now, shields, when played correctly, can be quite devastating. It's hard to kill them, especially when your team doesn't have any explosives on them. Sure, there could be that one guy with nitro cells, but the second he throws the nitro cell and it's blocked by the shield, you're kind of out of luck, unless he decides to aim down sights. So I feel like this operator would be a good way at dealing with shields, while also having a bit of a better role at it. Another idea I had was, what if they were able to temporarily shock electric walls? Only in a certain area, kind of like Bandit does. So let's say you hear Thatcher planting his breaching charge. You can pull out your taser, and you would have to shoot it at like where you think he's placing it. Because let's say it only has like maybe like a 1 foot radius, circular radius, and that's its effective area. But if you manage to get it like right on the breaching charge, it would destroy the breaching charge. Because it's a metal wall, because electricity is conductive, and metal is conductive to electricity. It would be an interesting way just to stop the breach. And then we kind of see that already with Bandit's shock trick, where he's able to plant it right as he's planting the breaching charge and shock it. But this would be an easier and more specialized way as to doing it. And now for the skins, which, as I mentioned, are kind of playing a big role in customization, as we have gotten those universal skins now that a lot of people tend to like. And looking into Spanish culture, as well as just kind of the game theme, or this new DLC's theme, I came up with 3 different ideas. The first one, of course, has to be Velvet. I mean, obviously, Velvet Shell. They could probably have some kind of skin where it's a nice red velvet, or maybe even a purple velvet texture with some designs on it. This would be really nice, very sleek. I feel like it would be that would be a nice one. But the 2 that I found from Spanish culture, the first one was Spanish dancer dresses. If you ever, they're colorful. They have the vibrant red, the blues, the golds, the vibrant colors, and I feel like that would be a really nice skin for the people who like color. I know dancing is a big culture over in Spain, so that was one idea. And the last skin that I came was Bullfighter, the very fancy, there's golden beads. It's very detailed. It's very designed, and I feel like that'd be an interesting texture to have on your gun. Just this kind of really complexly beaded golden weapon skin. I feel like that'd be, like I said, I feel like that would look nice on a weapon. And it follows the Spanish culture, which, of course, this DLC takes place in. So those were my thoughts and my predictions for the upcoming Velvet Shell DLC. Do you agree with me? Do you like the weapon choice? Go ahead and leave your opinions down below. Make sure to leave a rating, and if you like, and leave a comment. And thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.